Hello there, West Ham fans. Yes, this is a live Q&A session. We're going to be talking West Ham Galacticos. You're thinking, what? What am I on about? Yes, it is me, Alf. Welcome to Irons United for this very special live Q&A. We're going to be talking about all sorts of stuff, so put your comments in. I am going to be trying to speak to you and doing all sorts of good stuff. Jayaz! Good evening. How are you? So tonight's show is all about West Ham Galacticos. So the premise of this is we know there's lots of transfer rumours and all that. So this show is not about that, okay? So if you want to know about transfers, I'm not talking about that. I will be talking a little bit about Scotty Parker later on and what a great job he's done. And is he in line for the West Ham job in the future, possibly? Well, I suppose it depends how he does at Fulham, of course. But look, Moyes is our manager for now, so let's leave it at that. But look, the West Ham Galacticos. I'm going to hold it up. What an amazing little graphic up there, and it's also the West Ham Q&A. Yeah. So basically, this show is about having world players of the past and present that you think should or could have been, coulda, shoulda, woulda, been in the West Ham team. And, your favourite world players of any era, we don't mind, any era, they're going to be in a West Ham team. This is going to be the West Ham Galacticos. We are going to have the West Ham World 11, as it were, and we're going to be like the Harlem Globetrotters. We're going to be going all around the world, just beating everybody out of sight because we've got the best players in the world. Right, so I'm going to start it off, and then you let me know what you think, okay? So let's just a quick shout out to Robert Elliott. Hello, thanks for joining. Hammerwell 08, hello to you. Jay Galacticos, interesting. Yes, it is very interesting. That's why you're watching this show, because we aim to bring you something different here on Irons United. Didn't say it'd be any good, but, Anyway, right, so in goal, I am going for Buffon, the Italian goalkeeper, Buffon, World Cup winner. He's done it all. He's won it all in terms of domestically, European Cups, and also on the world stage as well. I was thinking about going for another Italian goalkeeper from the past called Dino Zoff. Dino Zoff, he was a World Cup winner in 1982 with Italy. But the reason why I put him in there, because he was 40 years old when he won that World Cup. So that was amazing. The other keeper I would have on the bench, let's say, but just for a bit of fun, right, would be that fella from Colombia, I think it was, Higuita. The guy who did the backflip kind of kick clearance off the line once against England. Crazy keeper, crazy hairstyle. But there we go. Anyway, so my keeper of choice is Buffon. Now, if you agree with me, let us know. If you don't agree with me, then let us know in the comments as well. Or right now live, or if you're watching this afterwards, let us know anyway. So I'm going for Buffon because I think he was a great keeper. He's been a great servant to the game, and he's just one of those players just never seems to retire. He's supposed to have retired about 10 times already. I mean, crazy. But anyway, so Buffon in goal. I'm going to go for a defence now. Let's just talk about defence. So in the central defence, I'm going to go for two players which I think are probably the best players ever in these positions, but also they kind of changed the way defending was, being portrayed, or it set off a new era. So first one, we all know this because he's our player, Bobby Moore. Now, the reason why I put Bobby Moore, he's a World Cup winner. Obviously, he won everything with us as well. But also, he was one of those players that when defending wasn't really popular, he was popularized by Pele, who Pele was saying to players, all over the place, he said, if there's ever a player who's as good as me out there on the pitch, and it's Bobby Moore. He had his instant respect. So for me, Bobby Moore would be in this World 11, if you know what I mean. Strangely enough, I never had Bobby Moore in my best West Ham team ever, but there we go. But that's another subject. Right, so here we go. Let's have a few comments here. So first of all, let's go back to the keeper. Here we go. Oh, Stel, here we go. Gordon Banks would have been my choice of keeper. Do you know what? I was thinking about that, but do you know what? I suppose I wanted to make this World 11 a proper World 11 and have different players from different countries wear as much as possible. So, yeah, I've got a couple of French, got a couple of Italians, I've got one English. So it's, otherwise it would have been a lot of English players. I didn't want that. But yeah, great servant to the game. Possibly could, because of his crash and everything, he could have gone for a little bit more, but there we go. Here we go. Yeah, Buffon, great shout. Jay, thanks very much. Rob Elliott, it would be good to have. Great choice. Thank you very much. Lee Ansell, hello. Late to the party, never late. It's fashionably late. That's what we like. Here we go. Right. Right. Who else we got? Lee, cheers, still. Yeah, still. There we go. Always having your own conversation there. Good. Alpha, I'm just going to have to agree with you. You're flying. Okay. Yes, Bobby Moore for me too. AC. Okay. Well, don't. Okay. I'm going to stop you there. We're not going to talk about who else, but I'm going to come back to that. Right. So Bobby Moore. Okay, in central defence. Right. Depends on your age group. You may not know this player. This next player, alongside Bobby Moore, was probably one of the finest defenders ever. In fact, I would still hold this player up as possibly the best defender ever, not only for his ability, but also because of his tactical awareness and the way he marshaled his defense, and also how he made other players around him. And it was just when defenders were just starting to become great players or recognized as great players, and he was the one that was really up there. And it is Baresi from Italy, Franco Baresi, one of the best players, played a great sweeper role, just fantastic. So I'm going to go for Moore and Baresi as my central defenders there. I know Baresi played a couple of other positions as well, but we're just going to go there. Isaac Hunt, good morning. Good morning to you. I suppose you're all the way over there, are you, in Australia? Hello. Here we go. My father-in-law meets Parks once, said he had banana things. He was massive. Yeah, well, he was actually Phil Parks. Yeah, that's right. I've said that in the past. We're a great keeper. Anyway, so Buffon in goal, Moore and Baresi. Right back. Who's going to be your right back here? Okay, my right back is going to be Lilian Thuram from France. Probably one of the best right backs I have ever seen. God knows how many caps he got for France, and he played in the best teams in the world, and he got all sorts of honours. I think he got World Cup and Euros as well. I think he's in that era as well. I could be wrong there, but he's definitely in there. So Lilian Thuram, right back. What a great player! Always. Every time I watch France, I wouldn't say I'm a great fan of French football per se, but anytime I watch France, and I thought, crikey, he's playing. What a great player, and never failed to impress me. On the left back, I've got to say, there's only one player for me that would ever be in that position, and somebody already mentioned it before. I think it was Lee. Somebody said that. Okay, no, Robert. There we go. Robert Elliott. There we go. You jumped ahead there. Yeah, you obviously saw my list. But Paolo Maldini again. He was actually, as a young kid, he came into the AC Milan side and was kind of being mentored by Franco Baresi as well. So Maldini was kind of in that same school, if you like, the AC Milan factory. came out, and then we all know what he did afterwards. Just a fantastic player. Never won the World Cup. He managed Italy later on. He got to a World Cup final, of course, yeah, it's just a great player. So there's my back four: Lilian Thuram right back. I've got Baresi and Moore in the central defence area, and Paolo Maldini. Let's go to the comments here. I've got this light right in my eyes, so I'm just going to try and. There we go. It's better. Right, here we go. Stel agrees with me. I think he does. I think he does. Yeah, so we've got Phil Parks. Yeah, look, great shot. I'm just going to right. So I'm a little bit. Buffon was and still is a fantastic player. He is. I mean, he's still. I think he's. I don't know what's happening now, what the latest is, but I think he's supposed to be retiring now. There we go. Stel, Franz Beckenbauer. I'm going to come on to my reserve team actually afterwards, or my subs bench. I've created a subs bench that is a full 11, if you know what I mean. So I've kind of cheated. Well, I cheated a lot. There we go. Cafu. Oh, please don't give me Cafu. No. I'm not having Cafu. He was a great player, but not as a world-class player, not as a West Ham world Galactico. No. Well, you probably should have been, but no. He was unbelievable for Milan. I remember when they all started showing the Italian games back in the day. What was it, Christmas media, and the Golazzo, and he was always on there. Great. Yeah, Paolo Maldini, fantastic. Metal in both legs. Hello there. How are you? There we go. Right. So, okay. Well, there's lots of players here being named, but I haven't got to those positions yet, so I'm not going to mention that. Right. Tone. Yeah. I'm not going to talk about him. Anthony Baker. Okay. And right. You can't say Desai. Look, he was a great player. But I think he kind of spoiled it for me when he came over. He was great, but he wasn't. He was all right. But there we go. Oh, New Zealand, Isaac, you're in New Zealand. Great. Okay. Right. So there's my players. So Buffon. I'm going to cover up my midfield and attack. So Buffon. There we go. Lilian Thuram, Baresi, Moore, and Maldini. Right. Okay. Let's go into midfield now. Again, I've picked players here that, strictly speaking, some you could argue are not really midfielders, but I will say I'm going to put them in there because I thought they were great. Right. So in the centre of the park here, okay, I wanted to have two players of different eras, of the same nationality, but it just so happens, but also were totally different styles. One is expressive, and the other one was more like just, a holding midfielder, breaks up play and everything. The best player for breaking up play, for doing all the ugly stuff and making others look great, the best player I have ever seen in that position is not Mark Noble. It's not anybody like that. It's Claude Makelele. Makelele, for me, has been, and Kante for Chelsea was kind of, when he was at Leicester, people were talking about him in that kind of mould. But Makelele, for me, is just one of the best players ever, but also in that role. He was untouchable. There's nobody that could beat him in that position. So Makelele for me. Okay. Alongside him as the creative sidekick is, if you will, would be, it's going to surprise quite a few people here, Michel Platini. Michel Platini, I think, I remember the Euros when he just basically stole the show, really. And then, he spent a lot of time, obviously, in France, and then he was just like the wonder player at Juventus as well for many years. You know, all the honors that came with that as well. Just a great, fantastic player. Expressive as well. But there we go. Right, so I'm going to go with those two in the centre of the park. Let's just have a look and see. Rob Elliott, Julian Dix has got to be in there. Oh, oh, Stel, Marco Bugas. Oh, please. There we go. Right, no. Tone, you'll talk about the players again. I can't do that. Robert Elliott, there's only one Masuaku. Don't mention Masuaku in front of Stel. You know how he gets. You know, Kenny Sampson was fantastic when he was younger. Jeremy Brown. Do you know what? I was thinking about somebody like that. Not Kenny Sampson, but thinking like that. But then I thought, no. Sorry, it's my show. It's my party. You know. No. So anyway, but yeah, look. There's no doubt that those players of the time, Kenny Sanderson, Phil Neal, you know, they're great players. And look, you can't argue with the quality of those of the players. A lot of those players that came out of the Liverpool setup of the time as well, because they were winning everything. So, you know, you could argue, well, why didn't I go for, you know, Clements or Hansen or Souness and stuff like that? Because I never really liked Liverpool, really. So there we go. That's the reason. Right, I'm trying to scroll through all your comments here. There we go. Robert Elliott. Yeah, yes, Platini. Good shout. Thanks very much. Anthony. Oh, Gaza is a great shout. Yes, he is. And I probably should have had him in there somewhere. I'm not going to mention some of these other names because they're also featured in my reserve team, right? So there we go. Right, Platini. So we've got Makaleli and Platini. Go on, who's going on? Who's going to... Okay. Who was your second choice if you couldn't choose Makaleli? I will tell you in a minute, Tone. Don't you worry. Oh, Robert, don't talk to me about George Best. Don't talk to me about George. I've been agonizing over this all day. Do you know George Best? They always say George Best was the best player to never have featured in a World Cup. In fact, if there's any benchmark to say, you know, Pele always said that George Best was the best player ever. So, you know, that's a good shout. That's a good shout. Do you know, I might have to cross out him and put in Best, actually, because Best was best. You know, I'm right. Okay, we'll get on to that. Right. So Platini and Makaleli in the centre of the park. If you disagree with me, let me know. If you agree with me, just go, yay, Alf, we think you're fantastic. Right, on the right wing. Not his technical position, I know, but I suppose we could have done. On the right one, he was, at the time, and if it wasn't for other issues going on, he probably would have been the reason why Holland would have won the World Cup in '78. But couldn't go. There was issues going on as well. But Johan Cruyff. Now, Holland, the Netherlands, had a fantastic side from '74 to '78. 2 World Cup finals. You know, Germany beat them in '74, Argentina beat them in '78. Just a fabulous player. And the way he played the game and the way he graced it, and the Cruyff turn, he invented a turn as well. You know, kids are still doing it now. You know, pro players are still doing it. So yes, I'm going for Johan Cruyff for me. Robert Elliott, Chris Waddle, please. Oh dear, no. Oh, great shout. See, people are talking. Lee Ansel, Cantona. Do you know, I was thinking about Cantona anyway, but I couldn't really put him at that stage. Also, Cantona, the maverick that he was, he retired at 27, 28, whatever he was. So yeah, if he carried on a little bit, who knows? Or maybe that's what made him the enigma that he was. You know, that he retired so early. But there we go. I mean, it was an interesting character. Yeah, Uncle, the best European footballer ever. Yeah, I would have to agree. Ian Barron, hello there. You've come out with Di Canio. I know. No matter how much I love Di Canio, I couldn't have him in here because I just don't think he was at that level. You know, he was at our level to be up there. But when we're talking about absolute world class here, and you know, people talk about world. Oh yeah, world class, world class. No, we're talking proper world class. Right. So Johan Cruyff on the left, on the right. On the left, I'm going to give you somebody that is going to cause controversy here, right? And I'll give you my reason why. Okay. Not only is he great in the air, not only is he great free kicks, he's the big time player that usually comes up with goals, and he's won at the world stage in the Euros. He's won everything so many times over. I think he's just recently become the only player to have won three, at least a minimum of 3 domestic titles in 3 countries. I think that's right. I could be wrong. Cristiano Ronaldo, for me, is just a fantastic player. Fantastic player. People always talk about Messi and Ronaldo. I'm not going to get into that discussion. But for me, Cristiano Ronaldo has proved himself so much in this country. He went over to Spain and proved himself over there. He's gone over to Italy and proved himself over there. So you know what? Cristiano Ronaldo goes in for me. Somebody said here, hold on, wait a minute. There we go. Somebody said Roberto Baggio. Okay. Roberto Baggio for me is one of my favorite players of all time. And I've got to say, even I could not have him in this. I couldn't even have him in both because I can't have 11 players of 11 attacking players. You know what I mean? I had to create some balance. But Roberto Baggio for me would be there, definitely. Slightly disappointing World Cup performances, apart from a couple of matches. But there we go. There we go. So, look, I think do you know what? People are agreeing with me with the most part. Well, some are. Some are. Kent Hammers, hello there. Gaza, best English footballer of his generation, world class. Yeah, I would agree. But I just couldn't have him in there. I don't know, because he didn't win anything as well. And I thought, I suppose I really wanted to have best players who've actually won something, at an international level as well. So I think that's the reason why I've left loads of players out here. I left loads of players, and Roberto Baggio, again, he didn't actually win anything. Maldini, again, he did win something. He didn't win something either, but there we go. So I'm allowing that. Right. So here we go. Anthony Baker, you got Brazilian Ronaldo. Yeah, but those teeth, mate, they you can't have him because of the teeth. No, he was a great player. He was a great player as well. But the thing is, he was superseded by other players, subsequently, in terms of his exploits. And let's face it, we could have so many players from the Brazilian teams of the past. Here we go, Anthony Baker, Rivaldo, Ronaldinho. We just could go on and on and on. Socrates was one of my favorite players. Zico was one of my favorite players. So I mean, they've had some real terrible players as well in Brazil, but they've had some fantastic players. Right, anyway, so there we go. Look, a bit of discussion there about Gaza. Yeah, I'm not so sure, but there we go. So that's my midfield. I've got Johan Cruyff on the right, Platini, Makelele. They would go opposite against each other, and Ronaldo. Now, I know I have missed so many players here. I know it's only 11 players, 11 spots, right? And I know some great players are coming out in the comments here. Here we go. Isaac Hunt, strikers. Pop Robson. Well, yes, fantastic. David Cross, one of my all-time favourites. But these are West Ham players. We can't really say that at that world level, can we? That's right. Jimmy Greaves. Now, here's an interesting one, Robert. Jimmy Greaves. I think he does deserve to be. This is one of the players that's really gets forgotten about because of the World Cup final. More Peters and Hurst, Jeff Hurst, getting all those goals, and Martin Peters as well. So But the problem, people forget that actually it was Jimmy Greaves who was the main man, really, and he got, with his goals and his endeavours, got England there. So, sorry, I got something on my. There we go. Right, Zico, Di Stefano, but Anthony, you're just going through the Brazilian annual, aren't you? And just all the old players. There we go. Here we go. Now, Lee, you said a player. I'm not going to mention him, and I'll tell you why in a minute. Kent Hammers, you said a player. I'm not going to mention him. You'll see why in a minute. So there we go. Tone, you have to have somebody else. Well, I'll tell you who I have to have, Tone, and you're absolutely right. I have to have Maradona. Absolutely. He, regardless of his antics, he was the elite player of his generation. There is nobody who could touch him in terms of his ability. Didn't have the best time at Barcelona, but he had some flashes. Napoli, where he went to Napoli, he just elevated Napoli to win in the Italian league, the Serie A, the Scudetto, and it just even now Maradona in Naples is almost like religion down there for him. So there we go, Maradona. I would have up front. Now, I would have him playing behind. There's the only one that really can go up there, and I'm going to tell you why. I'm not going to say because he's this player. It's got to be Pele, and the reason it's Pele is because of this, right? 3 World Cups. Not only was he fantastic as a player, he changed football. And that's what he did. He changed football. Not only did he change football, he's one of just a couple of players who've got over 1,000 career goals. So I've got to say, so Maradona, regardless of what we think of him, as a person, but as a player, he was unstoppable. And you think of those players, everybody remembers in England, of course, the hand of God and all that kind of stuff. But a lot of people forget his second goal, which was he just ran through everybody, and it just a world. And he scored so many of those goals. So there we go. Anthony, you've got some 3 lovely smiley faces there. I don't know if that's you're agreeing with me or not agreeing with me, but Pele is my striker of choice. Just behind him, Maradona. Whether those two would actually work as I'm not even sure whether this team would actually work at all. But Buffon and goal, I think he's a class of all ages. I think Baresi and Moore. If I could have them in my defence at West Ham right now, I would, I'd bite your hand off. Maldini again and Thuram as well. That defense, we're talking about Moyes wanting a better defense, for West Ham. Well, if you've got these guys as your back four, then I don't think we got any problems about letting in goals. We got creativity, we got goals, and we've got somebody who can break up play in McElhaney and on midfield there. And then we've got 2 up front who are possibly the finest players ever to have graced the game. Now, I'm sure a lot of you, I haven't read the comments, but a lot of you are probably going to say, why haven't you included Lionel Messi in there? I'll tell you why. And this is my argument for Ronaldo against Messi. Messi's only done it in Spain. He's a one-club person, which is great. He hasn't really done it on the centre stage. In fact, I wouldn't say he's flopped, but he's kind of failed more times than he succeeded. He doesn't stack up when it comes to titles, goals, and everything against Ronaldo. I'm splitting hairs here, but and that's why I wouldn't have it. Also, I didn't really want another Argentinian in there because one is enough for everybody. You know what I mean? And we all got to agree with that. And Maradona was in there, so it was either Maradona or Messi. Many people say, well, that Messi's better, but he can't be. He's not better because he hasn't won on the world stage like Maradona did with Argentina. But there we go. Right, so Tone, yes, agree. Maradona did cheat, but so did Messi. Yeah, he's no choir boy, is Messi. That's for sure. Sorry, I'm gonna have to turn this light because it's right in my eyes. There we go. Great side. Oh dear, no, I don't want to read that one out. If this is having that effect on you, then you need. Yeah. There we go. When skies are great, Alvin would have stopped Maradona. Do you know what? He probably would have done that a little bit. Yeah, that might have worked. Here we go. I remember having a VHF of Pele showing skills, etc., and the clip in the video showing Pele going to the fridge, getting a pineapple, and doing a shed load keep you up. Look, the guy was a magician. There is no doubt he was a magician. Right, when skies are grey, Van Basten and Henri. Right, I'm going to stop you right there. I will stop you right there because I'm going to give you my reserve team, okay? I'm going to stop you right there. So just watch that. Right. Henri was a great striker, and he was in a French team. He was a young lad, 17, I think he was, when he on the wing, when he won the World Cup with France. Didn't really feature for them that much in terms of, all the other players were taking the lead. Right? He was a kid, but he got a World Cup medal. Then they went to the Euros and they beat Italy, but again, with a Trezeguet goal. But then again, Italy should have beaten France in that final. They were beating them 1-0 right into the very last minute or so. And then France got the equaliser. They went into extra time, and it was this dodgy silver goal. So first goal wins. And basically, they had the momentum and they scored. But they weren't the better team that night. So he got his Euro win as well. But he's a brilliant player, don't get me wrong. But I can't really have him in, my World 11. Very close, but not so sure. Right. Well, we talked about Cantona. Oh, Dennis Bergkamp. Do you know what? Again, Dennis Bergkamp is one of my favourite players. Like, we could talk about this all night. You just keep on, tossing names into the ring. There you go. What about him? What about him? Oh, yeah, I forgot about him. He's fantastic. Dennis Bergkamp, for me, a brilliant. I always loved watching him play. He had a terrible time in Italy, in Inter Milan, when he went there. He went with such high hopes, didn't do it at all. Then he came to Arsenal, and well, we all know what he did there. Great player, fantastic. Very odd in that he was scared of flying, didn't want to fly anywhere, I would say. But he drove everywhere, which is really interesting. I think when Holland played in the World Cup in America, I'm not sure if they dosed him up or he got he left early and got a ship, a cruise ship or whatever over there to do it because he wouldn't fly anyway. But there we go. Has done it with way staying at a world class. Yeah. There we go. Right, turn. Who do you think was better, Bergkamp or Cantona? That's an interesting. That's a good question, Tone. Good question. Who was better, Bergkamp or Cantona? I would have to say Bergkamp was a better player because he was more of a professional, I would say. But there we go. Yeah. Right. Oh, Laetitia, see, Tony, you're coming out all these players now. This is really, it's doing my head in. It's doing my Matt Laetitia, again, fantastic player. He stood out in a league in the way he played at the time. He stood out. We didn't really have a lot of craft, guile players who would just do something out of nothing. Some of the best goals ever in English football history, Matt Laetitia has scored some of those goals. Glenn Hoddle, I would put in there, who scored some of the best goals ever. So there was a worldie from Justin Fashanu years ago. That play, Glenn Hoddle, Matt Laetitia, just some fabulous there. So, I don't know. Right, there we go. So when skies are grey, yeah, they're going to keep on coming out now. Francois van der Elst. When I was a kid, Francois van der Elst, we saw Francois van der Elst, and he was great, but he just never seemed to live up to the potential that we hoped he would be. But there we go. Moby Dick. Sorry, what was the question? Is it West Ham players or all world players? Well, it's all world players, right? These are the players that not necessarily ever played for West Ham. These are the best world players that you would have wanted to play for West Ham. Now, the criteria is, I suppose, that they should have won something on the international stage. So just for you, Moby Dick, my 11 is Buffon in goal. Then we've got Bobby Moore and Franco Baresi in the central defence. There we go. Paolo Maldini, left back. We've got Lilian Thuram, right back. I've got Michel Platini and Claude Makelele in central midfield. I've got Cristiano Ronaldo, left wing. Strictly not right, but there we go. And then we've got Johan Cruyff, strictly not right there either, but there we go on the right wing. And then I've got Maradona and Pele up front. There we go. Oh, here we go. Anthony is starting now with the Argentinian players. Here we go. So we've got Batistuta. Batistuta was another great player. Look, one of my favorite Argentinian players and strikers at the time was a guy from the 1978 World Cup final, Mario Kempes. Mario Kempes was a great player, and so I always, in my kind of world 11, this all comes back from my childhood. Remember, it's not really based upon actual ability or anything, but he would always be in one of my players because I can always remember the commentary. And there he goes, Kempes scores, yeah, and the great guy. So actually that 78 World Cup tournament is actually one of my favorite tournaments ever. If we can ever see the Spain of '82 was a great tournament. If you ever watch a video called Gole, and it's actually narrated by Sean Connery, that is a great one. And they actually did the FIFA produced about 4 or 5 World Cup films. I'm not sure if they're still making those actually, but they used to make them. The great one from I think they got one from '66. They got one from '70. I think, yeah, they got one from '74, '78, and '82. I'm not sure about '86 and afterwards, but there we go. There we go. Right, yeah, Tone, yeah, Batistuta, Batigol. That's right, that's what they used to call him, because he used to bat the goal. He used to pierce the net, break the net all the time. Right, here we go. Alf, if we have your side for us, it still may not work out for West Ham. No. Well, that's true. I'm not so sure whether whether this team could even play with each other, in all fairness. I think I really like the central pairing there of Platini and Makelele. I think that would be great. And I love the central pairing of Baresi and Moore. In fact, I like the whole defensive setup. Everything else, I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure that would, work out. Right. Okay. Who's ready for my subs bench or my sub team? Okay, so this is my sub team. I've been going for 40 minutes now, and I've only got through my team. There we go. Right, so it is. Oh, I need a drink. I need a break. Where's Anton when he needs him? I need the titles to come up. Never mind. I've drank now. Right. So in goal for my B team, as it were, my B team, my subs bench, right, is a Dino Zoff, I should say, Italian goalkeeper from the 1982. He's 40 years old. Great player, great servant. Won everything sort of domestically as well. But it's great. But as I said before, that's chance of a keeper. Who would I have as a third keeper, as it were, would be that Higuita. And the only reason I'd have a Higuita in would be for just to keep everybody laughing when the chips are down. But Dino's off for me in goal. There's so many other keepers out there. I know. We've got Shilton here. Yeah, again, Shilton, I always preferred Ray Clements, I've got to say, for me. But there we go. Robert, that's a good point. That makes me ask this question. Do we West Ham have a problem when signing quality players and ruining them? I think we do. I think we don't ever really play our best players in their right positions. We can never really quite find the right balance, the service to them. You know, last season we were always going on about, well, season before, we were always going on about Hernandez, and people say, oh, he's rubbish, he's rubbish, he's rubbish. You know, there are always two sides to the story, and the two sides are he's not producing, or they wouldn't produce. You can say the same about Haller, not producing, but also not being served correctly, and not playing to their strengths, not playing to their best strengths that we can possibly have. So I think we've got a history of that. We've got a history of not having the right players in the correct team. So we fail to have a real balance, and we fail to have managers, I would say, that can identify players that need special consideration to make them bloom. If you know what I mean. Right, so still players coming in for those. Well, here we go. Here's an interesting one, right? So Vieira is saying, isn't Vieira, Jeremy Brown, thank you very much, isn't Vieira better than Makelele? Great shout there. That's a great shout. But I would say no, he isn't. There we go. You got my answer there. No, yeah, again, Patrick Vieira. I totally forgot about him. But how can you forget Patrick Vieira? But Makelele for me. Makelele. Yeah, he's doing it. Right. Here we go. Yeah, we've got Phil Neal right back. Yeah. Bernard Lamar. Yeah. Lam. Yeah. Yeah, great player, Lam. Agree, Lam. Yeah, Lam ahead of Maldini. I don't think so. Come on. No, come on. You can't do that. You can't do that. You can't come onto the comments and start throwing out players as if they're better. No. Okay, maybe, but no. My Galacticos 11. No, Stel, stop. We can't hear it. We can't hear it. Right, okay. So my reserve keeper is Zoff. Right. In central defence, there we go. I'm going to rifle through these because I really want to hear yours, okay? Fabio Cannavaro, okay, from Italy, and Franz Beckenbauer. I think Stel mentioned Beckenbauer earlier on. Yes, those two in the central defence, I think, will be a fantastic combination. Right, my left back and my right back, I think I'm going to really surprise a lot of people here. Many people on the right back would think, well, Carlos Alberto, you know, for Brazil, that famous, right back who went out to the right wing and everything like that. I'm going to say, I know people are going to crucify me here. I'm going to go, I can't say it. I'm going to say it, but I can't say it. Gary Neville, I'm going to say. Gary Neville. So I'm going to go for right back. Left back, I'm going to go for another English player, Ashley Cole. Of their time, I think they're probably the best in their positions of their time. Ashley Cole certainly. Gary Neville questionable, but certainly, you know, he was winning everything with Man United as well. So yeah, I'm going to go with that. Gary Neville right back, Cannavaro, Beckenbauer in centre, and then Ashley Cole left back. Okay, in the centre of defence, in the centre of midfield, I've gone for, again, another creative, attacking-minded player, and also a very defensive-minded somebody. You need a general in the centre of the pitch. I'm a great believer that you've got to have a general there. Somebody who's no nonsense, will get there and does all the dirty stuff so other players can be expressive and everything like that. Okay, so here we go. So Roy Keane is going to be my player who never played for West Ham, who should have played for West Ham. He is an amazing. He was an amazing player. I'm not so sure about his personality and everything, but as a player, fantastic. And then alongside him, as the expressive player, would be Lionel Messi. So those two kind of go against each other. Right, on the right, I know it's not his position particularly, and on the left, totally out of position as well. But two of the greatest players that I think have graced the game in midfield in an attacking sense, in a creative sense as well. So here we go. Zidane. Zidane would be there as well because he's just amazing player. And Xavi as well. Again, you could go Xavi in Iniesta, and maybe you should have Xavi in the centre as well. But I've put him there as well because I think he's just a great, fantastic player. Iniesta as well. I just think Xavi was just a better all-round player. I could be wrong there, but there we go. So there's my there we go. There's my backup team, or B team. So Zoff in goal, got Gary Neville, Cannavaro, Beckenbauer, Ashley Cole, Zidane, Keane, Messi, and Xavi. Right, okay. And then the up front, okay. I have actually bowed to popular belief here because I did have Romario in there. Romario, who a World Cup winner, of course, with Brazil. He was a great player. He's, again, one of those key, very few handful of players who actually got over 1,000 career goals. And he played well into his 40s as well in Brazil. So a great player. So I would say Romario as well. But I've actually changed him for George Best because George Best, I think, of his time, again, head and shoulders. You know, he was a maverick, and we all know all that sort of stuff. And again, you know, if people like Pele are saying he is the best or one of the best players ever, then you know. I'm going to go with George Best. But I've got to say, Romario is a great player. Right. And the other player I've put in there because he is that player that should have had a much longer career if injury hadn't taken him away. And who knows what he would have become if he hadn't had injury. And there's only one. No, where's that? Marco van Basten. I never forget those Euros with the wonder goals he scored. There's the goals he was scoring for Milan as well. He was he Ajax? Yeah, he was Ajax before that, wasn't he? Yeah, just a fantastic player. And such a shame. I think it was a knee injury, wasn't it, that caused his career to be cut short. And I think it was 26, 27 when he, I could be wrong there, correct me if I'm wrong there, but look, great player. Anyway, so that is my West Ham Galacticos. There we go. A and B team. Right, let's just go back here and see if any of you agree with me. I'm sure most of you don't, but there we go. I only did this 5 minutes before the show, honest, yeah. Actually, all day, I've been, thinking. Right, here we go. Philip Lahm, left back. Yeah, Zoff. Yeah, we got to Robert. Thank you very much. Thumbs up from there. Anthony saying, not so sure about Cannavaro. I tell you what really annoys me about Cannavaro. He wins the World Cup, right? Great player. And then he's coming back for the Euros, I think it was. No, it wasn't the Euros. It was the Euros. And then he went to end his career in Qatar or something like that. So a bit of an oddball, really. But when he could have, obviously he went for the money, but he's a great player. Robert Elliott, Roberto Carlos. Yeah, lots of people say Roberto Carlos. I'm not so sure because he only had, every time I watched Roberto Carlos play, he made so many mistakes, and he had such a powerful shot with free kicks, but most of those were just way off target anyway. So lots of people always say Roberto Carlos, but I've got to say, not for me and not in my West Ham Galacticos. You know what I mean? But actually, okay, all right, yeah, he was great. Oh, bugger. Yeah, Anthony Baker saying Roberto Carlos, Robert Elliott, everybody saying Roberto Carlos. Stop it now. Please. Right. Here we go. And again, nice. To be Ashley Cole could do it all. Yeah, he could. He could. He was a great player. Not okay. He plays for the teams that he plays for. Fine, but as there we go. Right. Put your players down, but Alf may not agree. Yeah, well, no, please let us know. Of course, I'm not going to agree because I'm the only one who has the definitive list here. No, I don't. Please let us know. Let us know what you think. Yeah. Neville, no way. Have you gone mad? Do you know what? I think I might have done actually. But then again, it is my B team. He is on the bench there as well. Oh God, do you know what? Moby. Why didn't I? Yeah, I know Perlo, but Perlo, right? He only. Oh, I got to be careful what I say here. I can't say he only came good towards the end of his career, which is wrong, but he had some shocking. I know a lot of people in Italy as well, and in his early part of his career wasn't fantastic as well, but he was a great player, and he had some great tournaments as well. He didn't. No, did he win? 2006. I think he was in the squad. Yeah, for Italy. So, yeah, he's a great player. When I talk about football tactics and everything, you talk about somebody who tries to keep that tempo of a game ticking over, that metronomic type of player that's just going tick tock, that kind of player. Perlo is. If you're talking about a textbook player for that role, Perlo, he's the player. Just gives, goes. Just keeps it flowing, keeps it passing around. Love watching him, Perlo, but a great player. Anthony Baker, Keane versus Vieira. Well, that was always the big argument, wasn't it? Well, okay, we're not going to say that. We're not. No. Zidane, yeah, great player there. I nice, yes. Xavi was brilliant. He was actually that trio that I had in Barcelona. Now, who was it? Xavi, Iniesta, Busquets. Was Busquets? I think it was, wasn't it? Great. Yeah, probably. If you're talking about a trio in midfield or in that sort of central area. Iniesta, Xavi were more the expressive. I think Busquets was more the breakup merchant, wasn't he? But the spoiler, as it were. But Tone, here we go. I'm partly Spanish and I watch all the Spanish games, and I agree Xavi was better than Iniesta. Well, there we go. Yeah, I don't watch a lot of La Liga, or I used to watch a lot of Serie A. I don't watch any German. So yeah, there we go. Robert Elliott, Ronaldo. Okay, the Brazilian Ronaldo you're talking about. What in my B team? I was thinking about him actually before I put. Then I remembered Romario, and I thought actually he had a better overall career, I suppose. That's why I put him down there. And also, if I've heard of stories in Brazil where Ronaldo is not as held in such high regard as we probably think he should be in there as well. And in Brazil, they think he's actually quite low down on the pecking order of great Brazilian players. So, who am I to argue with the Brazilians? You know what I mean? There we go. Zidane was unbelievable. He was. Well, actually, I think he was very believable because I actually saw him in the flesh. He was playing in front of me. There we go. Ronaldinho for value, yes. Look, he had some great games. There's no doubt about that. And when he played, look, there was another player I didn't really mention. He did it more for club rather than country. But before Messi and Ronaldo came along, this guy was tops, and he was just world class. And Kaká, so Kaká was, AC Milan and everything. He had an interesting story there because basically AC Milan were in a bit of financial trouble, and it was Real Madrid who came in for him, and they bought him. And Kaká didn't want to go. He did not want to go. He did not want to leave AC Milan. He was really fully embedded in the Italian lifestyle. Leonardo was part of the AC setup, I believe, at the time. So he was very much an AC man, but also Brazilian as well. So, but then he went to Real Madrid, and it just never happened for him. He just didn't like it. He just didn't want. And I think it was kind of a, he was almost like a depression. He left Italy, and he just didn't want to be anymore. But he won the golden, the Player of the Year. The Ballon d'Or, whatever it's called, 2 years running. So you're a great player, but not in my world 11. But there we go. Right, I'd have him in like a shot. So Ronaldinho, Romario, yes, Romario, Rivaldo. Do you know what? I'm not having Rivaldo, and I'll tell you why I'm not having Rivaldo, because of that shocking display. I will never have any players in my team that just knowingly cheat. I'm not having. I don't care how good they are. I don't care how brilliant they are. But I'm never going to have somebody who cheats. And I can't remember, no, you have to remind me which World Cup it was, but when he faked getting the ball kicked in his face or something at the corner flag, and it didn't go anywhere near him, then he just held his head and he went down. And just, not having it. Not having Rivaldo. I think he got fined for that afterwards as well, didn't he? But there we go. Pele, listen to Pele. Well, yeah, there we go. Pele knows all. There we go. Right, so here we go. Hold on. Crikey. I've got so many players here. Oh, crikey. I've really missed out loads, haven't I? Right, hold on. Right, let me just catch up on your messages. There we go. Best. Okay, Stells. So here we go. Stells, Galacticos are Roberto. He's winding me up. You had me there for a minute. I'm not even read those. I'm not even read. If you want to go back, you read Stell's Galacticos there. Van Basten, absolute monster of play. Yes, fantastic tone. Yeah, Robert Elliot, Van Basten, what a striker. Stoichkov, oh yeah, great player, Bulgarian player. I can't remember who played. He was playing for Barcelona for many years. Great player as well. Very funny stuff. Hadji, one of the best World Cup goals ever for Romania. Probably a little bit of luck there, but it just looped it in. Brilliant goal. Gerd Müller, God, yeah. Again, we're going back in time, but Gerd Müller just fantastic. His record was superseded, though, wasn't it? Though by. The player was not Podolski, the other player. Remind me who he was. Cafu, yes, great player. Machiavelli did it when he was a go, but yeah, he did. Stel, Roberto Carlos is thinking man's must walk. Oh God, please no. They're probably about the same for me. Well, there we go. What? I did not say that, did I? Yeah. I'm not a fan of Roberto Carlos. I'm sorry. There we go. Yeah, Roberto Carlos couldn't defend. Yeah, that's right. He was shocking. Right. Here's when skies are great. Luka Modric, yeah, great player. Just a great, very similar to Pirlo in certain aspects. But there we go. Frank de Boer. Oh, interesting one. That's an interesting one. And his brother, Ronald de Boer. Yeah. They were great players as well. Again, some great players out of the Dutch national team and obviously league as well. But great player, yeah. Here we go. Eusebio, of course, Eusebio. Again, obviously of that era. But again, he was the European Pele, wasn't he, from Portugal? Fantastic player. Played for Benfica, I think, for most of his career. Great player. Lothar Matthäus, yeah, he was a great player as well. German captain as well. Won the World Cup and the Euros with them. Yeah, great. Here we go. Richard Walton, what about Cafu? And I say no, Cafu. Snafu the Cafu. No, I'm not having him. Great player, but not a World 11, not a Galactico. That's going to go. Oh, that's the wrong page, by the way. That's going to go in my starting 11, and it's not even going to go in my B team. No chance. but he was great. I did enjoy watching him play. But I think there were better players in history than him. There we go. Henry. Yeah, we talked about Henry, or did I? Did I not? Yeah, Henry, great player, but no. Oh, Robert, don't talk about Billy Bonds. You can't do that to me. Look, I've got to say, I'm not even going to grace that with an answer, because I probably should have put him in there. I know that, but I didn't, because I had Bobby Moore there instead. There we go. Suarez. Do you know what? Again, as talented as he is, again, he's one of these players that cheats, lies, and thieves. I cannot abide by. So Suarez, not for me. But I also don't think he's at that level when we're talking about a world Galactico, the best players ever that should have played for West Ham if we had billions and billions of pounds and we could go back in history. Tyrone, here we go. Here's your 11. Buffon and goal. Thank you. Agree with me. Thuram, you agree with me. Thank you. Brazy, Moore, Maldini, you agree with me. You've gone for Xavi, Beckenbauer. You got. Yeah, I think your defence is quite clustered there. Quite defensive setup there. We've got Platini, Cruyff, Maradona, Messi. Interesting. Yeah. I wonder how your 11 would match up against mine. There we go. Right, there we go. Puyol. God, Puyol. Yes, for Spain. Brilliant. I think he was captain when they won the World Cup and also the Euros as well, wasn't he? So no, they had what, 4 years, didn't they? They had the Euros, then the World Cup, then the Euros again. Was that right? Yeah, that was right. It's basically a 4 year, 6 year window where they were just brilliant, weren't they? Yeah, Pirlo was great. Bobby Charlton. Oh, do you know what? Yeah, he was. And again, he was held in that high esteem, just like other players, in as higher esteem by the likes of Pele as other players were. But there we go. I absolutely loved and would have loved West Ham side. JJ Okocha, the Nigerian lad, wasn't he? Yeah, he had a great strike on him as well, I seem to recall. Ibrahimovic, look, just for him, I would have loved us to bring him on a loan deal or something like that. That would have been really. Figo, God, my God, how many have I forgotten here? Luis Figo, brilliant player. Who was this Portuguese player alongside Figo in the same team? He was just brilliant as well. Oh, remind me. Trapped. Yeah, I don't think so. Channel 4 Football Italia, James Richardson. Yeah, he was great, wasn't he? I always liked listening to him and watching him, actually. Anthony Baker, there we go. I'm a little bit behind the curve here, yeah. But yeah, World Cup in South Korea, that's right. And corner flag, Rivaldo, that was we were talking about. What have you done with him, Sal? Not on your park bench, yes. From Kilmarnock, 2002, that's right. That was the World Cup there in South Korea, where they got really far, didn't they? They're a really energetic side. And it just goes to show you might not have the quality, but if you've got lots of energy, you could go really far. And I think they got fourth place, didn't they? Because Turkey beat them in the fourth place playoff. So they got to the semis. They beat Italy in the quarters. This is South Korea, by the way. Right, here we go. Anthony, Ian Barron, hello. Darlington fan, hello there. How are you? Puskas, yes. Di Stefano, yeah. Well, yeah. Eusebio, yeah. And these are all great players. Of course they are. Jermaine Defoe, please, but yeah. Closer, Miroslav Closer, thank you very much. That's it. I think he beat Muller's record. There we go. Lilian Thuram, fantastic. Repka, please. Stanley Matthews, Sir Stan. Oh, yeah. There we go. Hold on. Michael Carrick. Who's better, Bobby Charlton or Gascoigne? I think you've got to go Gascoigne on that one. Masuaga, Hullet. Rude Hullet. Great player for Holland, where they had Hullet, Rijkaard, was it Van Basten? The three that were playing all together at the same time. They all went to AC Milan, and they were just fantastic at AC Milan as well. Brilliant. When Ruud Gullit came to England, I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure about that. But there we go. Rui Costa. There we go. That's it. Thank you. I'm a little bit behind the curve, but thank you. Keep on putting the answers in. I will get there. There we go. Deco. Yeah, I remember him. Deco as well. He was great as well. But Rui Costa. That's it. Ian Barron. Golazzo. Yeah, not Golazzo. Not Golazzo. 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 Right. John Mocker. Deco with Figo. Yeah, brilliant. Deco with Figo. Yeah, Rui Costa. There we go. I think I've caught up. Well, there we go. So what do we think of that? What do we think of those players? Are they worthy of being in a West Ham World 11 Galacticos? I think possibly my first team is better than my second team. I would agree that maybe Gary Neville is a bit dubious there. But there's so many players. I mean, you know, if you could have your best players, it's actually Seedorf's. That's who it was. Yeah, Clarence Seedorf's, who was with Hullet and Rijkaard as well. But great, he was a great player again. You know, he won everything with Milan as well, and you know, went everywhere with them. But look, I've got to say, I'm happy with my 11. I've got to say, I'm happy with my 11. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. But listen, this has been the West Ham Q&A. We talked about the best players in the world ever to have graced the game, and would we have loved them to have played for West Ham? Yeah, it's Seedorf. Yeah, I would definitely would have had Seedorf as a player. Ibrahimovic, yes, definitely, I would have had him as a player. But anyway, look, if you've got any questions, leave them in there. You know, put them in there. Let us know what you're thinking, what you want to discuss. So, you know, we're gonna go on for a little bit longer, and then I'm gonna sort of knock it on the head as well, because I got very important things to do. I've got a lorry load of paper clips to count, so they say, and I've got to watch some nice TV. Right. So anyway, we're going to be talking about for a few minutes Scott Parker, whether he should be the next West Ham manager in wait. Now, I've got to say, I am a huge Scott Parker fan. I'm a huge fan of any player within industry. Okay, so I'm a great, and thank you for the lovely comments as well. Thank you for everybody joining in the lovely comments, and thank you very much with that. But some people don't like him, obviously, because he left West Ham, went to Spurs as well. Yeah, time at Chelsea as well. But look, I think he was a great servant to us. I think he was a great servant for West Ham when we were doing really badly. You know, he was the one. And let's not forget, because of his performances, many people, myself included, many people were saying he should be in the England side. If you remember at the time, that especially that one season that he had with us, he was head and shoulders probably our best player. And, you know, everybody was saying, knocking on the door of England. He said, take him. He should be there. He should be there. So, you know, then obviously, you know, he's gone, and then he's now he's come back with Fulham, and then Fulham he took over at the end of the season. They went down. They stuck with him, and then, you know, surprises of surprises, they still got a lot of good players there. He's proven himself to be a really great coach. And he's, you know, he's brought them up. He went through the playoff final. Everybody was probably tipping Brentford to win that, but no, he done a number on them. Now the question is, who Will he be able to survive? Will Fulham be able to survive? I mean, let us know. But look, I mean, I think there's mixed emotions there about Scott Parker. I'm a great player, a great fan of him when he played for us. And I'm not naive to think that any player is ever going to never leave us and never going to go to one of our rivals or all that kind of stuff, because they're professional footballers. They're just going to go, and they're just going to go. They're just going to go wherever they're going to go, wherever the money is, wherever the opportunity is. Let's face it. Well, they don't really care about that anymore. Only us fans really care about that. Players don't. They're professionals. That's what they do. Let's get into the comments and see what you think as well. Right, Metlin both legs, great show. Cheers, Apple. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Jerry Gobi Ever Gambits. Yeah, we were talking about him about Dutch players with Rijkaard and et al. Yeah, Scott Parker, even though he played for the Spurs. Yeah, look, again, I'm not going to say that against him, because as I just said, players will just go wherever they want to go. Rivaldo Dunovich, yeah. Scott Parker would like to see him manage us. Do you know what? Well, it's too early to tell. Okay, it's too early to tell for that. I don't think right now. I think a lot of people say, "Oh yeah," as soon as a manager is starting to do well for a couple of games, and also, yeah, he could be our manager. They were saying exactly the same against the Lincoln. I forgot what they not Coney, the brothers. What they called. Who were Lincoln City managers, but then went off to Huddersfield. They kind of stabilised the ship there. I've forgotten who they're called now. The brothers. Remind me, Dan. Somebody tell me who I'm on about. But look, they were talking about, hey, you've got to get them in. We kind of get desperate, don't we? We start plucking out names all over the place. And I think Scott Parker, potentially, if he keeps on doing well at Fulham, and whether he would ever consider coming to West Ham as a manager, would we be a bigger club in his eyes than Fulham? It really depends. It depends how successful he is at Fulham and how unsuccessful we are at the time, with our current manager. When skies are grey, Scott Parker, another rat who left the ship. Well, I wouldn't agree with you there. Each to their own with that. Agreed, but gave his all to make us stay up, and would have stayed if we did. Yeah, look, again. Just look. Here we go. Just look at Scott Parker's celebration. Say so how much you like West Ham. Yeah. Why would Kent Hammers? Here we go. Why would Scott Parker want to come to West Ham as manager? He's building something at Fulham. Don't think he'll be able to at ours as early for him anyway. Yeah, just as I just said. Yeah. Will it be a comfortable season for us next season with zero relegation scares? I hope not. I certainly hope not. Here we go. Sorry, I'm just trying to tone. Probably. Oh, here we go. Lee, West Ham United FC. As a Scott Parker fan, then Alf, would you want to see him fail and get all that stick that comes with it? What, fail as a West Ham manager? Well, okay, look, yeah, hold on a minute. You're asking the wrong question here, because basically you don't want to, I wouldn't want to see him fail, first of all. But we all know that you go into management and that is what happens. You either go in and just accept it as a professional job, and whatever the fans think about you, they think about you, or and we know that managers, there's no longevity in that career. They're going to be around for a few years and then that's it. There's only a few managers that seem to last forever and ever. Most, just go from job to job. Some managers are just parachuted in, as we know, just to save the day, as it were. But to have Scott Parker as our manager, I would love to see him do well. But I would love it to see him do well at Fulham as well. Let him do well at Fulham, if he ever came to us, do you know what? I think he would. I think any manager only comes under criticism if it's tactical decisions, it's substitutions, if it's the method of our play that can be questioned. But if we're trying to be attacking, if we're trying to play good football, if he's trying to make good tactical decisions and substitutions, but it's the players that are letting him down, then I think, actually a lot of the blame always goes on managers. But we all know it's those players crossing the white line. They're the ones who really need to be held to account. That's why Rice will go to Chelsea, because players don't care. Yeah. I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure he will go. I'm not sure. Crowley brothers, thank you very much, Captain Hammers. God, the Cowley brothers. That's right, isn't it? Is it Cowley or Crowley? Cowley. I can't remember. Robbie, and we get Moyes, and maybe we got Moyes maybe after Moyes. That's right. Cannavaro. Yeah, I mentioned Cannavaro before. I would take Parker tomorrow instead of Dithering. No, I wouldn't actually, Richard. I wouldn't. I think he's done a great job at Fulham. He's fantastic. He's brought them up. But he's got to do it in the Premier League for a couple of seasons. Still a young manager. He doesn't need to come to us. He doesn't need it. Maybe Sam Allardyce at centre back, please. Yeah, I get it. It's like Di Canio. I loved him. Still do. I would love to see Di Canio at West Ham. I've said this on numerous times. I would love to see Di Canio at West Ham. In the coaching setup, or even as some kind of ambassadorial role, or even as some kind of motivational speaker, as it were, just to get the players fired up and all that kind of stuff. But you know as well as I do that he would probably be throwing in grenades all the time and just walking away as everything is exploding around us. I don't think his temperament is necessarily suited to have for a West Ham success. However, I think that Paulo Di Canio, his attitude is exactly what we need at the times when we are just lethargic and just have no passion and just we embarrass ourselves in front of us as fans, but also over the last few years. So but yes, you're absolutely right. Any ex-player that goes into management is always going to run the risk that fan base will turn against them. And many managers who have a lot of history with a particular club do probably get a lot more time from the fans and from the board, from the ownership. You could say the same like Solskjaer at Man United right now. He's probably had more time with them to prove himself, and he's started to prove himself now. So it's a similar kind of thing. So it's when it goes bad, yeah, everybody's going to be on your case. When it goes good, everybody's going to love you. With a fan favourite, let's say like Pat Di Canio, I'm sure we'd love him and we'd give him the time, but I just don't think it would work. I just don't think it would work there. But there we go. I mean, I could be wrong. Pards, bring back Pards, please. Is Maradona in your team? He cheated large. Well, he was, but I said that, didn't I? I did say I can't abide a cheat, so I really shouldn't have Maradona in there. But I'll put him in there now. Sorry to say. Ginger Pele, he wanted as our manager. Well, actually, I don't know what Ginger's doing. I know he's going for his coach's badges, isn't he? So I don't know where he's going there. Garrett's, Parker as manager with Joe Cole. No, but do you know what? Joe Cole, right? Joe Cole, I think there was some discussion about him coming into the coaching setup, wasn't there? I really do, and I think lots of other people do, like the way he talks. I know, has he got his coaching badges? I think he does. I could be mistaken there as well. But there we go. Rafa Benitez is a manager now. No, I don't want him. Jerry Maradona did cheat, but what player hasn't? Yeah, they all have. Nolan signed a new deal, and he was only on 6 months. Oh, was he? Is he just signed a new deal? Okay. Yes, Robert, I would love Di Canio, West Ham manager, but he's a walking disaster waiting to happen. Yeah, I kind of agree with you as well. I'd love to have him there. I would love to have, if it all goes Pete Tong towards the end of the season, right? No other manager in their right mind wants to touch us, and we're in a relegation dogfight. let's say, and Moyes, they sack Moyes, for example, and say, right, who's going to come in? I would love it. I would love it if Paolo Di Canio came in and started kicking over things, swearing, and just saying, right, come on, get your fingers out your ass and let's play. But there we go. I would love him as well as a parachuting manager, not necessarily as a because he's a real taskmaster. That's why he fell out with a lot of players, as I've said before, at Swindon and Sunderland as well, because he was expecting them to be more committed than he actually was. There we go. Right. Just give Moyes 1 season with their own team and players, and we can judge. Yeah, absolutely right. I'm not saying that we should get rid of Moyes. Absolutely not. And I think that would be disrespectful for me to do that. I'm certainly not. In fact, I'm actually quite positive about Moyes and his some of the things I've heard, what he's been saying, not only the first time he was here, but also the second time, because he actually sorted out a lot of things behind the scenes that a lot of people don't know about. But I agree. Give him a full season, make him make his purchases, his transfers, and then we judge him. Then we judge him on the performances. We judge him on how we play. We judge him on his, on his substitutions, whether they can change a game or not change a game, and that's how we should to do that. Right, here we go. So I'm kind of skipping through here. Yeah, happy with Moyes, but Parker's like, yeah, Parker. No, we'll just give the job to Tony Pulis, please. Please. Would you have Rio as manager? No, I wouldn't have Rio as manager, actually. I think stick to your punditry. I'm not so sure about that. Has he done his badges? I'm not sure. Has he? I don't know what he's done. Yeah. Parker didn't get Player of the Year. He should. I think he did. He's almost. He's very close to getting the Players' Player or the Football Writers' Player of the Year, wasn't he? That one season. But there we go. Anyway, look. How long have I been on? Nearly an hour and a half. I think that's enough for tonight, isn't it? Look, I've got to say, big thank you to all of you for joining in on this. A different kind of show, I suppose. But look, it's this has been my West Ham Galacticos, and we're we've had a couple of teams there. We had a good old discussion. I'm sure you'll agree. All the world-class players of all in the past. It's so hard, isn't it? I find it really hard just come up with my favourite West Ham players of all time in a starting 11, let alone a world team, or a team made up of world greats of the past. I think it's impossible, really. But we could all have. But you try this. You try doing this and try and create a team that you think could function as well. Is really hard. I found it really hard as well. And then as in the comments, all these players you're coming out and you think, oh right, yeah, what about him? I think shit. How did I forget him? How did I forget that player? How did I forget that player? Figo, Rui Costa. Oh, brilliant players. Figo, great player. And all that. So, but there we go. Anyway, listen, it's been emotional. What can I say? But my Galacticos in goal: Buffon, back four: Lilian Thuram, Baresi, Moore, and Maldini. Midfield: Cruyff, Platini, Makelele, Ronaldo. That's Cristiano Ronaldo. And then up front, Maradona, and Pele. And I'm going to leave you with that. There we go. Read them and weep. Right, there we go. So we've got more shows coming up very, very soon. So please check out the channel, subscribe, tell all your friends to come on over to the Irons United Revolution. I think you'll agree that's what we are. No, we're not. We're just trying to do the best we can. Anyway, so hopefully a bit of entertaining as well. In terms of transfers, we're going to have more transfer shows that are coming up soon. We had a big one last night, so check that out as well if you want to see what we're talking about. We had lots of guests coming on, and talking about their couple of players that we think we could sign, potentials as well, or who we'd like to see at the club. It'd be very interesting to see. what players, the types of players that that Moyes can bring in, and what direction he wants to take the club. I think he's going for potential players. I think he's going for no nonsense players, and I think he wants players that've got lots of energy, lots of drive. So if that's the case, then great. I mean, so we'll see. We'll see. But anyway, look, it's been emotional. Thanks very much for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe to Irons United. You can also check out the website, ironsunited.wordpress.com. We've got lots more shows, as I say, coming up. Stel with all his facts and figures. Anton with all his music medleys and all that kind of stuff. And we're all going to be coming on. If you want to ever feature on future shows as well, get in touch with us via the website. Send us a message, and then what we can do, we can send you a link to this stream as well. Obviously, when we get to start watching football again properly, whenever that will be, I'm sure we're going to have shows discussing that as well. Then we'll have meetups as well. We'll have fans coming and all that kind of stuff. We're always going to have somebody who can't get to the game, so we're going to have pre-match talks, halftime talks. We're going to have full-time review talks, all that kind of stuff. There's lots of stuff, as I say, that we haven't been able to do as a channel because of what's happened in the world. But hopefully we're just going to keep on bringing you as much content as we can, all West Ham based, of course. But anyway, so we only got a few more weeks to the start of the season. I'm sure the transfer rumors are going to come thick and fast. Whatever. What's your favourite players and all that sort of stuff? It'd be interesting to see when Moyes makes his first proper signing, or also which players that we retain and we don't sell, or that the ones that have come back from loan, what we do with those players as well. It'd be interesting to see how Moyes shapes up with those and which direction he goes. But there we go. Right. Thanks very much. Thanks to everybody in the comments for taking part. Really appreciate that. Sorry, I've been a little bit slow on the old comments tonight, but it's a bit hard trying to talk and trying to manage that as well. But there we go. Right. Catch you again. Subscribe. Tell all your friends. All that kind of stuff. Lots of shows coming in the next week or two as well. Just watch and check in every night for our channel as well. Okay, cheers. Ta-da.